I know I said my next video would be one of my reviews, but I wanted to challenge Zaneryboard's birds because I am a big fan of his, and I want to participate in an event he was hosting. The Sky Hybrid Wars. An event entirely dedicated to people making hybrids that are specifically made for flight or gliding to challenge Maddie and Vault, Zaneryboard's champions. I shall be joining this tournament, mainly because I want to see if I can successfully challenge Maddie and Vault with a pack of hybrids that can at least not explode during the battle. With all of that out of the way, let's begin. Now, I want my hybrid to be fast, stealthy, and a pack hunter. But I do not want to overlap with too many of Maddie's genes, so I have limited it to 3. And these 3 will be very crucial for what I want to accomplish with my hybrid. The bar-tailed godwit will help with stamina, allowing my bird to stay in the air for a very long period of time. The vampire bat will be there to spread iron to the talons and beak, making them a lot more dangerous. I am also including the raven for intelligence. These 3 components feel like the most necessary to aid with what I want to accomplish with these birds. Speaking of, let's finally get into the parts I am adding to my bird that Zaneryboard has not added to his bird. The iconic, and I will admit kind of overrated, Velociraptor. I'm not talking about the Jurassic Park or Jurassic World raptors. That is not allowed. I'm talking about the real-life Velociraptors found in skeletal remains. I have 2 main reasons why I want to add this dinosaur to my bird. Number 1. Pack behavior. Although it is not confirmed, it's heavily suggested by paleontologists that the Velociraptor was a pack hunter. And considering my bird is a pack hunter, it will need the right traits to get along with its pack mates. And the Velociraptor feels perfect, especially since I don't want my hybrid to be too big. Number 2. The Sickle Claw. The Velociraptor Sickle Claw, combined with the iron distribution thanks to the vampire bat, gives my birds a truly dangerous weapon that can greatly damage both Maddie and Vault, even though Vault has very protective scales. The scales of the Velociraptor will also help protect my birds, and the Velociraptor is very fast, so it will help with the speed of my bird as well. This will be useful since I do not have the Peregrine Falcon in my bird. The Prairie Falcon. It can fly to speeds up to 45 miles per hour or 72 kilometers per hour during normal flight. And it can reach speeds up to 200 miles per hour or 322 kilometers per hour when diving to attack prey. This is very fast for a bird, and will help with the speed my bird is significantly lacking in the air, since the Velociraptor is really only helping with speed on the ground. The next creature that will distribute DNA in my bird is another famous prehistoric creature, the Pteranodon. The Pteranodon is here to give my bird a sharper beak. Sure, it's not the sharpest among pterosaurs, but it'll have to do since the Quetzalcoatlus will interfere too much with the bird's size, considering the fact that it is the biggest bird. Therefore, the Pteranodon will have to do. Now, this next one is definitely going to raise some eyebrows, so stick with me here. My hybrid will contain cuttlefish DNA. Remember when I said I wanted my bird to be stealthy? Well, the cuttlefish will allow my hybrids to camouflage with its surroundings. This will be of big help, especially when it wants to surprise Maddie and Vault. I was going to include aquatic capabilities, like how the cuttlefish spends most of its time underwater, and how my birds would be able to spend an extended period of time in the water, but I figured that wouldn't really be necessary since most of the battle would be in the sky anyway. And if you read the title, you know what that bird is. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to ye the peacock.
A peacock?
That makes no sense.
Now, the peacock is the main component of my bird for a very simple reason. The tail feathers. Not only will the tail feathers aid my birds with gliding if their wings are significantly injured in battle, they can also serve as a distraction to save themselves. Picture this. One of my birds is grounded, unable to get up. And just when Maddie or Vault goes for the kill, bam! They shoot up their tail feathers. The bright, flashy colors temporarily dazzling the larger bird, allowing my bird to quickly camouflage itself thanks to the cuttlefish DNA and make an escape to join with the rest of its pack. And with that, it's time to reveal my hybrids. The Alatus Deus, roughly translate to the Winged God. There are 4 in total, each being raised together as siblings, kinda similar to Blue and her sisters. The leader, Nyx, has black feathers, representing the raven, and has purple tail feathers. Next up is Rexo Jr., who is a male and sports a more classic color scheme, with the blue feathers and the green tail feathers. Shen is also a male, and has a more whitish color scheme, courtesy of the bar-tailed godwit. And, kinda similar to the bar-tailed godwit, has golden brown tail feathers. And finally, there's Kieran, the youngest sister. She is interesting, for she has purple feathers with yellow tail feathers, which reminded me of Kieran from Pokemon, so I went with that name. And here are the stats. Together, these 4 hybrids are Team Shen, named in honor of the best bird villain in animated history. And with that, I patiently await what Zane Reborn has to say about my birds. And hey, if they don't end up being good enough to beat Maddie and Vault, maybe they can just be friends and I'll hang out at the bird pub and have a splendid time or something. With that, have a great day, afternoon, or night. Depends on when you're watching this video.